a false start. My internet kept being too slow, so we're going to give this another shot. So this is a live Save Your Books video in the series of Emily of New Moon, and we are deconstructing the text block here. So I'm going to try and set the camera up, and hopefully this will just work this time. Okay. We're just going to go one signature at a time. And I see that this was tipped onto this page, so I'm going to set that there and pull it apart. Now I can get at the little threads. And when you're doing this, you can either take the threads out from in the middle right away, or you can, cut it all apart and then take them out. I'm just going to take them out as I go along. And I'll be clever and set this down over here. There we go. And just looking for the next signature where it divides. Let's see how many pages are in this, just out of curiosity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's the typical signature, is 4 pages folded together. And this is probably all I'm going to get done today. I've been working behind the scenes really hard to improve my camera setup, but it's boy, talk about not easy. Let's see where the animal glue is still stuck on there, so I can just pull that off. Clean up the back of the signature there. Make it so it's not crunchy. And it's kind of nice to just be able to see what we're headed for. Eventually, before I resew this, I'm going to want to repair the backs of the signatures. And here, just to see what's going on. It's not too bad, but at the head and the tail, it could use some strengthening for sure. Oops, sorry about the noise. Here's that. All right, here's the next one. If I was worried about the pagination, I would make sure to do a collation ahead of time and write in pencil any of the page numbers that were missing or whatever, but this is fine. I'm putting this down here so I can have a support while I'm removing this old glue. Looks like almost all of these have a little bit of that glue remaining there. That's easy enough to get off. You can kind of see in real time how long this stuff takes. It's not hard to do, but it's just kind of time consuming. And I cleaned off that one side and then flip it over and I find a whole nother section of this old glue to get rid of. All right. Sure, I'm wondering about these interesting stains that I'm finding. They're just some pretty dark brown stains. I don't know if they'll come out with washing. I'm debating washing the whole book. It's like once you've decided to wash an entire signature, I mean, the paper changes just a little bit when you wash a page. There's a little, shrinkage. So if you're going to wash, if you're washing one page, that's kind of like fine. Title page or something like that that's been damaged. But once you're washing a whole signature, you might as well, in some ways, wash the whole book, because the difference that there will be between that signature and the rest of the pages might be significant and might make it very odd looking. Okay, well, it's coming along. By the way, I've had to adjust my camera in a weird way. I'm not actually able to see any comments without tilting my head in a very odd way to look up at the camera. But I'm happy to see there are people here. Thank you for watching. And just to let you know, I've started YouTube has allowed a membership program. So if you are a member of my channel, which requires a payment of, I think it's $6.99, what you get is access to live Q&A where you can ask me your book repair questions, and I'll show you what's going on in my studio, and that's only for members. and it's once a month, and so far it's on the first Thursday of the month at 10 o'clock Pacific time. And that may change in the future, but for now that is the time, and I will keep people updated if it changes. And I did get a couple of members so far, so that's been fun. And I did my first Q&A, and I'm looking forward to the next one. It's kind of fun to show off what I'm working on. I don't usually show my client work here on this live stuff. So to just show people what I'm working on in general is fun. All right, here's that one. Yeah, that one's good. Oh, we're getting there. Probably almost halfway. Let's see. Yep. Oh, that one's connected, and there's just a little tension there. I don't know if you know about where I live. I'm in the Eugene, Springfield area, and we had a huge ice storm a couple weeks back. It was ridiculous. I couldn't even walk from my house to my studio. It was like 3 inches of ice on the ground. Pretty crazy stuff. So many tree branches broke. Well, I moved up here to be closer to my daughter and her family, and I couldn't even get to their house. They're like, less than 10 blocks away, and you couldn't walk 3 feet out the door. I wound up ordering some, what do they call those things? Little clamp things for your boots so you can walk on ice. Anyway, I was like, that's not going to happen. I need to be able to at least get to them in an emergency. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, I love reading the chapters as I'm going along because I have not read this book yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm like, various tragedies. Can't wait to read about the various tragedies. What could they be? I mean, I've read Anne of Green Gables, and I know what their various tragedies are from that book. So can't wait to see what the various tragedies are for Emily. I've asked other people about Emily, and some of them are like, yeah, she's my favorite versus Anne. But I don't know. We shall see. Okay, a little bit more. In case you're wondering, this is the book repair knife. This is the prototype that I've made, and I actually sell a version of this like this that you can use to do these kinds of scraping, pulling things apart. I really like it. I mean, imagine trying to do this with an X-Acto knife. Having the rounded edge is really helpful. It's just, you're less likely to poke holes. And my father-in-law makes them for me, which is really nice. In fact, he's sending me another batch very soon. All right, that's looking good. Coming along. There we go. Oh, and after I'm done doing this, I get to go visit my daughter and hold that grandbaby. That's a pretty good day right there. She is just 1 year old. I've always wondered, it's like you say 1 year old and it sounds wrong, and you say 1 years old and it sounds wrong. I don't know. 1 year, it's only 1 year. It's one of the years. Just to make a note that this book didn't have any sewing supports. It was just, you know, typical machine sewing, kind of a Coptic stitch, and I might choose to add some sewing tapes when I re-sew this. I think that's a great idea. Just have that in there. Although it's not original, so as a restoration, you'd want to do everything exactly as it was originally, but I don't know. What if it's stronger with my new sewing supports that nobody's gonna see anyway? And it'll be pretty obvious it's a restoration, so I don't know. There's just a lot of questions. I don't know if they're ethical questions because I am the owner of the book, so I don't have to worry about this, you know, having it be exactly the same as it was originally for some historical purpose. I might be more interested in making it stronger. Well, we're getting down to it. We're almost done. Look at that, just that much left. Huh. I can see that this page actually belongs with this signature. So I'm gonna see if it wants to be separated. Yes, it does. Look at that. It actually is separated. That happens. Yeah, when you're scraping the old glue on the spine, of course, it's hard to get in between the signatures on the spine. So that's why when you're cleaning this off, you have to watch all of them. Yeah, something was just really, really messy on this. I don't know what's going on. That would be a question for, I don't know, a chemist? Somebody could analyze the stains. I know they've done that. Like, found, you know, pollen counts for organic matter found in a book and figured very interesting things out about that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, what's going on there? There we go. When I'm doing this, I'm going to have to be careful to, of course, put the right pages with the right signatures. getting worse the further I get back into the book. I mean, just messier. Now I've got torn up pages. Something to repair later. That's not great. This is definitely the kind of video to watch on double speed. Right? You want to know how to do this? It's the same thing over and over again. Just getting all the crunchy bits off. Okay. I ought to have it, you doddering hyena. So, there's that. Okay, what's going on here? Huh. Doo-doo-doo. Yep, there we go. We are so close to being done. Oh, you can see where the page tore away. So this page goes with this one, but I'll leave it like that for now. I'll try and repair it, put it back together. So it's one signature. Well, here's a question. When I'm resewing this, should I use the, 100-year-old sewing frame or the Jeff Peachy no-key sewing frame? Which one would you guys rather see? If you watch the Wired Obsessed video of me, which is like woman tears apart old books or something, I don't remember, some silly thing. Anyway, it's out there. You can see the two different sewing frames. And you guys can help me decide which one to sew this book back on. Back together. Yeah, you just go to Wired, and they have a whole series called Obsessed. And they did a nice video of me in my studio, so you can see where I work. Okay, what's going on there? There we go. If you can't see it clearly on one side, just open the other side up. One thing I'm noticing is that the sewing threads were all here. I don't think you can see this with that. They were all double. So it's a really thin thread that they had as a double thread going all the way through. That would be another thing to note and think about if we wanted to use a really thin thread and do it double, or use a thicker thread. Using the wrong thickness of thread can really throw your sewing off and swell the spine like way too much, or have it not be enough. And now we're getting back to these pages with these stains that I really don't like. This is where I started thinking maybe I'll wash the whole thing. Don't like those stains at all, although they're not on the text. There's only that one page I saw earlier that had it really on the text. And that is kind of the main thing. If you can't read the book because of a stain, that's not good. And something like that is going to continue to deteriorate because you can tell that it's acidic. So that's kind of the problem. You could go drastic and just rip all those parts off. Oh yeah, and it's stiff. It's really stiff right there too. Let's show you that close up. Yeah, it's like somebody spilled coffee. And I might be able to wash that out a bit, which would be really nice. Okay, we are, as I said, almost done. Just double checking that. Yep. Good. This is our last one. Last signature. Clean this off. So another word for signature is acquire, not spelled like the singing thing. It's Q-U-I-R-E. They're called signatures because when they were being created originally, to keep track of everything, the bookbinder, sewer person would actually write a signature. To keep track. Okay, and that is the end of that deconstruction of the text block. Just see a little thing right there. Get rid of that. And stain, things to be considered. Stains, and there's a couple little page repairs to be done. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm really going to have to consider this. If I do wash this, I think I'm going to at least have to wash these 3 and then 4. Yeah, that's a good question. Should I wash the whole thing? That's a lot of washing. All right, well, to be considered and continued next time. Let's come back around. Just come back and say hi, because why not? So that was all of that. Again, thanks for watching. I am working on making my video production better, so hang in there with me. Oh, have you washed an entire book before? Why, yes, I have. It's quite the process. I mean, it's just a lot of, I mean, you take the book apart, you have different trays of water, and you have, well, they're all marked, so you don't have to worry about the page numbers getting in the wrong order. Anything that isn't there, you would have to make a note of that. But it's like, after you've washed everything, you take it out and you kind of do this blotter sandwich with Hollytex. And yeah, how many things could go wrong? There are some things that can go wrong, but it's actually less dangerous than you would think, because the ink isn't going to float off. I mean, not on this particular book. It can float off. There was a time I actually was working for somebody, and he was washing an older book page, just one page, and the red ink on the page started floating off the page, because red is what's known as a fugitive color, and it just was floating off the page. And so what he did was he went and he got a turkey baster and he started removing the water from the bucket so that the ink floated back down onto the page, and it actually worked, and he saved the page. It was kind of a miracle. I don't know if you would ever want to do that again. That was terrifying. But the ink on this it's not going to come off, and so you don't have to worry about that. The other thing that could happen is that the page would get more floppy, because you're removing the sizing of the page, like the stiffener ingredients, but you can actually add that back in with like methyl cellulose, a little mixture of that in the water to help resize it. So that's another thing. The other things that can go wrong are if there's anything sticky on the page. Oh my God, you can if you don't get it off completely in the bath, and then you put it on this, well, you want blotter paper with Hollytex, which I actually have some right here. So blotter paper, and then, oh, sorry about your anxiety levels. Oh my goodness. And yeah, so this is the Hollytex, and this keeps things from sticking. So you take the pages out of the water and you would put them into a blotter sandwich with blotter, Hollytex, so nothing sticking, and then the page, or you'd actually have 2 pages on a thing like this, another thing of Hollytex, another blotter, and then it's like you have to let them dry to the perfect timing, because you don't want them to be too dry. You want them to be almost dry. And then you can start pressing it again. So it, putting them back in their signatures together and then pressing them. And after you've done all that, then you can do the repair to the signatures and do the sewing. So, oh, okay, I'm glad it's fine. So anyway, so that's it. That's it for today anyway. And I'll be back, and wish me luck with my video production research. I'm looking into OBS, and because I really want to get a 2-camera system. I'm tired of trying to switch this around. So anyway, again, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, you're welcome.